$40,000 up top, a Dawg Bowl seat that is waiting for us to win it. We've got a new projections process. We're going to talk through that a little bit. Let's see if we can win a Battle Royale this week.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer.
GM, everyone. How are we doing on this wonderful Thursday morning? We have a football game being played tonight. We could probably do some pick'em stuff while we're sitting here in the lobby. I've already got one out. I have 99 Dawg Bowls left to draft. Let's go ahead and hop in the lobby right now. Let's see what we've got. So yes, Elim matchups are out. I've got one versus Karain. I've got one versus Chess Liam. Actually have a couple versus the boys in the Discord as well, which is just pretty fun. Yes, Diablo updated the Eliminator page. Yes, I will say the Eliminator matchup that I have versus Liam, I think I've got to be a favorite in that one. You know, obviously a favorite doesn't mean anything, but I do think that the teams we happen to get through, his look like one that was done early because it has Joe Mixon on it, GM Eggers, GM Whohames. How we all doing this morning, boys? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling hip? Are we ready to take down a Battle Royale championship? I certainly hope so. I know that I'm feeling pretty good. I like this week. You guys can see here in my queue, I've spent all morning fiddling around with the projections process. No idea if it's any good. No idea where we're at, but fiddling around with a way to do, like a value over replacement for Battle Royale. Wow, and I just immediately starting with Derrick Henry at the 1.3. Patrick Barnes YouTube is still here, still bum hunting. Shady has one guy in 3 different head-to-heads. The road to Kansas City starts here. GM Benny. Yes, Shady, that is just a problem. You advance too many teams. That's really all we're at, is Shady advice. Advance too many teams in the Eliminator. They ran out of unique opponents for Shady at this stage. Tough scenes. Wow. Got an Elim matchup versus the man, Patrick Barnes YouTube. Honestly, Patrick Barnes YouTube, a legend of the channel, frankly. All right. Let's happily take Trey McBride. One of the biggest things I was trying to solve for when fiddling with the projections was the value over replacement of the elite tight ends. And Trey McBride is the only elite tight end of the whole slate. You know, if you just look at projection distribution, so even the in-app projection has Kelsey. Oh, well, I'm immediately sensing an issue in my mechanized process for tight ends, which is that not enough tight ends are ranked. So that's going to be an issue. A lot of wide receivers are ranked, I guess, because... All right. So, in other words, my experiment with having AI assist me in creating rankings is not helping. Well, not it's helping. It's not solved yet. Brian Thomas Jr. name match issue. I did not have much time to sanity check these yet. So I will be back. In fact, I'm just going to go delete these. What do I want to do? Do I want to do BTJ? Let's do Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not to spoil the YouTube video that I hope that you guys all watch, but I did just get done doing the weekly Thinking About DFS show with Jacob Sanderson. And there was a lot of talk on Amon-Ra St. Brown and the Detroit Lions Chicago Bears game. GM Matt. I think Tyler Warren is immediately bumped into George Kittle's place as the tight end 3. I don't know about that. That might be a bit much. I haven't done rest of season rankings yet, but it's hard for me to imagine Tyler Warren getting that high on that offense. Because we've got Bowers is 4, Bride is 2. I think he is tight end 3. I think you could still probably do. I think you still probably take Laporta over him. Well, honestly, AI doesn't really save me much time at all, but in terms of figuring out projection-based stuff and number-based stuff, I just can't do it. Like, at the end of the day, I am just not a math-based person. And because I'm not a math-based person, there are some things that having a computer do the math for me is going to help. All right. Let's do. You know what? I'm feeling a Kamara. I'm the last slappy left on Alvin Kamara Island. All the slappies have abandoned him for Trevion Henderson. I mean, there are slappies out there who would rather draft Chuba Hubbard against the Arizona Cardinals. I frankly can't get there. I think this is actually, it's funny. This actually is a total right-wing slappy team with Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara. Interesting to think about the positional distributions. Because one thing I've noticed is a huge amount of teams are 3 running back teams. The Underdog DFS Masterclass from Pete, Nez, and John has had a huge impact on the market. Let's do, you know what? Tedroy McMillan. Haven't done a scroll there yet. Great stat for the Carolina Panthers. Xavier Legette and Hunter Renfrow combined for, I believe, 13 targets and 24 yards. Is David Montgomery a gross but acceptable scroll? It's kind of hard for me to get there. I would probably at running back. Like, I think maybe he is, honestly. Like, would I rather have Dobbins or Montgomery? I guess I'd rather have Montgomery. Am I drafting Tyquan Thornton? No, I'm not drafting Tyquan Thornton. Not a ton of interest there on Tyquan Thornton. We're just gonna do Jared Goff here. The Detroit Lions are back home at the Dome. I think buying on the Detroit Lions is one of the stronger spots of the week. Eating elite quarterback chalk this week, or mostly scrolling at quarterback, I guess my sense is that I'm probably scrolling more than the average drafter, but maybe that's not true. Let's go look at my exposures next. So this team was Jared Goff with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Derrick Henry, and Alvin Kamara, Tedroy McMillan, and Trey McBride. A nice cromulent team. It's true. I mean, even in their last game, David Montgomery, the overall usage was not dissimilar to what we become accustomed to with the Detroit Lions. He was still a huge part of their offense, even if it wasn't good offense. So this is what I have for exposures thus far. Loading that up right there. GM. Most drafted player thus far, Trey McBride, 26%. A lot of James Conner, a lot of Puka, a lot of CMC. A lot of chase, a lot of both chases. So it looks like I'm actually right at the market with Lamar and Josh, 17%. And then just like a kind of flat distribution of the other guys, 7% Kyler. Seems about right. I like that first team, though. Monty is projected well on ETR. It's good to know. What percentage was Fanon drafted in BBM? Well, I don't know. Let's see if we can figure it out. Roster combos. So we could just do... Can we just do Fanon? 22,234 teams. Daily Rojo, 47. I wonder if do I show up on here? I probably don't have enough. 17 Harold Fanon Jr. teams. So you guys got to. You would have to. Looks like PD doesn't have the percentage in, but 2,234 teams is quite a bit. There you go, roughly 33%. So a lot for a backup tight end on the Cleveland Browns, but not as much as he should have been. That's for sure. All right, let's hop in another one. 98 left. I'm going to be ahead of pace this week. I'm going to be doing some Wildcats and things this week because I'm ahead of pace. That is the right that I've earned myself. The ETR projections will be out, I believe, this afternoon. Fake number. Well, I love a good fake number. The Run the Sims projections are out, which is what I used to cook up the fake rankings that I had. I know there are some things that they are still working on for the Run the Sims projections, though, because we had like a crazy bad Josh Allen number that they'd like backwards figure out why it was so bad. 0.5 PPR rest of season, Emeka Egbuka or Tetaroy McMillan. This will probably be an unpopular opinion, but I would still say it would be Tet. Chris Godwin actually returned to practice today. The target is still for him to play at week 5. Now, maybe Chris Godwin doesn't factor into the equation at all, but it's not good. Like, Tet truly has no competition at all. Like, Liget and Renfro are just not target earners in any way, shape, or form. All right, we're drafting out of the 3-hole here. Maybe we'll get King Henry again. Yes, this is true. Justice Hill did have negative 14 rushing yards somehow. Someone just asked how many Harold Fanon, Tyler Warren teams I have. There is one. I got one team. Oh, not even close. Jake Ferguson or Harold Fanon. It's Fanon. Fanon by a million, brother. Raphael says that Christian Watson plays before Chris Godwin and all the 49ers skill position players. I would call there. Christian McCaffrey at 3. Nice to start the day with a little bit of a gifter Rooney there. GM, Mr. Kurz. Justin's with me on Tet rest of season. Hell yeah. Christian Watson plays before Chris Godwin. That would really be something. Hey, they did just give him a nice big fat contract extension. This one's actually closer, Juwan or Fanon, until Kittle gets back. My sense is probably Fanon. I'm a little bit skeptical that Juwan is able to consistently out-target Shaheed and Olave, particularly like in the red zone. And that skepticism could totally be wrong. But we just have like a much larger sample of Juwan Johnson in the NFL than we do of Fanon. You know, Juwan Johnson, I believe, has been in the NFL for, I believe this is his 6th season in the NFL. There's also going to be some growing pains with Rattler. McCaffrey, McBride. Oh, no, gotta do Puka. God, that start is just too good. CMC McCaffrey or CMC Puka is just too good. So my read, someone said this in the chat yesterday. I think it was Easy put this in the chat yesterday, that the reason for the Watson contract was it basically allows him to not have to get back this season if he's not healthy. No reason to try and rush him into playing. Nico Sutton, Pearsall, Pickens, Travis Hunter, and Diggs. I mean, you just start the ones who project for the most points, bro. Chase Brown. Yeah, we're gonna go Chase Brown. Christian McCaffrey, Chase Brown, Puka, Nakua. Is CMC Puka too best ball brain? I don't know if you're understanding what best ball brain is, brother. I don't think Mac Jones is like a starter level quarterback in the NFL. He's fine. Mac Jones is worse than Purdy, but not that much worse. I changed a redraft league to half PPR and half point for first down. Huh. Would have never thought about half point per first down, but I like that idea. Rewards good players. It rewards good players in a way that PPR obviously predated the quick passing stuff happening in the NFL, like all the RPO. There was definitely a couple years there where the PPR scamming was out of control. Ooh, Brady, we have an Elim. GG. Yeah, how many of you guys are in an Elim with me? There were a fair number of folks in the Discord who had matchups with each other. All right, so the tricky part when you take Puka is you really have to figure out what you want to do. You know what? Let's just take Hurts. Let's just let this problem take care of itself. Because the thing about Puka being a first rounder is that you're never taking Stafford. So if you're never taking Stafford, you either have to do it. You either have to set your. It basically just cuts your options in half, or I guess it cuts your options in a third, because you then have to do your stack with the wide receiver 2, with your tight end, or you do like a Jalen. What I'm going to do right here, which is I'm just going to do unstacked, uncorrelated Jalen Hurts, I believe. Although I do think Hollywood is draftable in BRs this week. Maybe hot take. I do think Hollywood is draftable. We could take AJ Brown. No, I'm feeling a scroll. I'm feeling, you know what? Tyreek Hill. Guy hasn't caused me enough pain yet. Bring him in. Why never Stafford? Rodgers threw for 4 touchdowns. It's just very, very hard. Throwing for 4 touchdowns in a game is very hard. I do like Devonta Smith this week. I've drafted a decent amount of Devonta Smith this week. This will probably end up being my highest volume week of the year, just because I've had a lot of time. Oh, I mean, dude, Mr. Flock, right about everything, of course. So right about QJ. Thoughts on tonight's game? Sadly, I don't think tonight's game is going to be very good. I kind of think the Packers are just going to do some smashing. I believe there is a dynasty roundtable on the horizon. Yes, I believe Jacob has updated his. I actually am probably going to update my dynasty rankings this afternoon, and I believe Karain would like to be doing one soon as well. So I actually think this is a request that we can honor. Well, Gretch Gretsch did some pretty good analysis of that Dolphins game, and he came away from it not as bearish as everyone else. All right, we need a tight end. We've got the low, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm taking David Njoku. Jalen Hurts, Christian McCaffrey, Chase Brown, Puka Nacua, Tyreek Hill, and David Njoku. Njoku is just like the all-time leverage play. Leverage against Harold Fannin Jr. All right, bada bing, bada boom. I love knocking these out. Is there anything better than just knocking out some battle royales? Yeah, Tua did not play a particularly good game last week. In fact, he played a downright awful game. Wow, GM, 200K fast puppy winner Raymond Zanny. Shaheed or Fannin in flex, full PPR. Honestly, what an interesting question. I mean, my gut immediately says Shaheed. This will be good. Let's just check the non-sanity checked projections over on RTS. All right, so we've got Shaheed for 11.1, Fannin for 9.95, Shaheed 10.75. I think you're going Shaheed, brother. Yes, I am using the rake back for these BRs. Njoku at tight end, Fannin in the flex. That is kind of fun. I'm new to maxing BRs. What is a good pace for drafting? Well, what's interesting, Jerry, is that most people don't even start drafting BRs until Friday, until there are full practice reports. You know, we know who's in, we know who's out. Most people, like I bet that Peter has probably not started drafting yet. If I make this dog bowl, we are going for barbecue. First beer's on me. Well, I would be happy to. If I qualify for the dog bowl, I would be happy to buy you a beverage, Ray. I would be happy to do that. In BR, how often do you think a Lamar CMC McBride will occur? Obviously not common, but more often than you would think. RTS still has Njoku projected as tight end 2 on the slate. So well, I would guess it's actually probably more likely that all the tight end projections go down a little bit. Like Njoku, like I would guess it is more likely that Njoku comes down and Fannin stays static than Fannin comes all the way up. Well, Peter is a degen. He just had, I think realistically, most people probably would be behooved to wait until good projections come out. You know, I would say that's generally the deal. Isn't the Cleveland high passing volume bet the same as last week? Think they have some PPR scam potential? Well, they absolutely have PPR scam potential. Yes. I mean, I've never been more certain that they have PPR scam potential. But half point PPR does, like, you do need the touchdowns. Salary cap DFS, that's a little different. Wow. CMC McBride. There you go. I mean, dude, I'm just hammering these every time. Like McBride after ADP this week is the man. Dude, I already sent the Thursday Night Football pick 'em out, brother. Do you not follow me on X, the everything app? Go AZ cards. Flex Dobbins or Sharbs. That's pretty close, honestly. I guess Dobbins. It's a much better matchup for Dobbins. I don't know. Flip a coin. I don't have a good answer for you. I'm sorry. Wow. Javonte Williams at pick 13. Stay woke. Okay, I will take Chase Brown. One thing that you guys really should remember about Battle Royales is that the easiest way to get unique, particularly at the top of the board, is to let the room get unique for you. So if you've got Chase Brown, who is on average drafted at 10, and you're picking up 14 or 15, you just know by literally the definition of average draft position that most of the teams that you are playing against are not going to have the opportunity to pick them there. Now, obviously, that starts to change when it's lower down the board. There is a much wider deviation. Like, for example, and it actually shows up. You see this deviation between Jonathan Taylor and Kyron Williams, or this deviation between you'll just see there's actually not another good example. There are just these spots where you can see like whole numbers get skipped in the average draft position, because after about pick 15, 16, 17, kind of depending on the week and how the projections go, guys just start to not get picked. I would do Fannin over Kraft in half PPR. Would you play Diggs over Golden this week? Probably, just because that matchup is so good against Miami. Rookie guy, short week. Probably harder for him to get an expanded role on the short week, would be my thought. All right, we need a wide receiver. And we are just going to take Jackson Smith and Jigba, a player I am irrationally high on this week, JSN. And so I think you can obviously do stuff like this, like saying, like, I don't care about Neighbor's projection. I'm going to take him anytime he's there in the third. That is a totally fine way to play. That is just, obviously, that leaves you more open to variance in these contests than you would like. All right, let's take Kyler Murray here, and then we can decide. So McCaffrey's 100% drafted, McBride's 100% drafted, Chase Brown, JSN. So I basically have a full 100% drafted team right now. And the combos are probably not uncommon. Like McCaffrey, Brown is probably not uncommon. Honestly, McBride and McCaffrey, and particularly McBride and Chase Brown, are probably not that uncommon. So I probably need a semi-scroll here. Could do Pickens, could do Cortland Sutton, could do Tet, could do Adams. Is there any I guess Tet would be the bring back. Metcalf would be a correlated piece. Travis Hunter would be a correlated piece to some degree. I have no idea if Jalen Ramsey is going to follow JSN. I also don't even know. Is Jalen Ramsey any good anymore? Someone tell me, is Jalen Ramsey still good? Can I interest you in Olave? I don't think so. Maybe in the 12 mans, Olave is probably draftable, I would think. That sounds right to me. The thing is I guess I just have not done enough thinking about thinking as it pertains to the 12 mans. The 12 mans feel like a crazy strat. All right, we are up. I do think I need to scroll here just a smidge. Let's do. Yeah, you know what? Let's do Tedderoy McMillan as the bringback. Bringbacks probably honestly are not great in half PPR, no bonuses, but I couldn't resist. Kyler, CMC, Chase Brown, JSN, Tedderoy McMillan, Trey McBride, bada bing, bada boom. Done. Man, I feel not great about Isaiah Pacheco moving forward. He was in about as bad of a role as he could possibly be in week 1. That was nightmare fuel for anyone who really liked Isaiah Pacheco. Didn't have third downs, isn't going to have the goal line work. His whole season will be how many long touchdowns can he score effectively. How often do you take a 100% drafted team and go for the nuts? Really, really not that often. Yeah, like almost never. Someone dropped Chris Olave in my league. How much fab would you drop? You said a 10-team league, a 12-team league, an 8-team league. I mean, I think and also, like, do you have a good wide receiver? Like, if you're starting Juwan Jennings with a shoulder injury and Mac Jones as his quarterback this week, you should drop a lot on Olave. All right, we are over here. So we're not going to get one of the 3. Like, there's a huge tier this week. Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, and Jamar Chase. Then after that, massive drop. I think one of the things, I'm going to take Jahmyr Gibbs here. One of the tough parts of Battle Royale is being able to translate an idea that you know, that idea being, well, these projections are just all very close, right? Like here, let's go look at flex, and let's just sort by base projection. It's like CMC, Gibbs, A-Chain, Jamar Chase. There's a 1-point spread here, a 1-point spread here. They're just, these guys are all so close, but the way that ADP orders them is so anchored. And freeing yourself from that anchoring effect is one of the best ways to draft teams with unique combinations that still project well. Because that's basically Battle Royale is a game of how do I get the greatest amount of unique combinations while also still having teams that project well, right? Because anyone can draft a unique combination. Oh, I'm going to take Ricky Person, and then I'm going to take Devontae Walker, and I'm so unique, but your team projects like shit. So finding the happy medium there, I mean, that is quite literally the entire game. 10-team league, 2 flex. I'm dropping 27% of my fab on Chris Olave. Maybe a hair more, maybe 33%. All right. Jahmyr Gibbs, Puka Nacua. That's something I really like to do. 2 second-rounders on one team. Just, again, a very unique way to play the game. No, I would not. Well, Brashard Smith, I would maybe think about over Ollie Gordon. Pretty close, but not over Caleb. Kansas City is going to suck in this game against Philadelphia. And they are going to try and drag Philadelphia down in the mud with them. Both teams are going to run. Both teams are just going to stink. It's going to be a really bad game of football that neither team is going to show their hand in any degree. I wish I felt differently. Sadly, I do not feel differently. I don't think that game is going to be very fun. What player could be the one you have to win? I mean, Puka probably would be my top answer this week. Do you think the value in getting unique is more in not chopping with someone else or just getting runouts where you are competing with less people? You hit the nail on the head. It's runouts where you are competing with fewer people. So like, let's do James Conner, who I really like this week. So for example, if I just drafted closer to ADP there, I go Jonathan Taylor instead of James Conner. Jahmyr Gibbs and Jonathan Taylor are going to be on I don't know, 20 times more teams than Jahmyr Gibbs and James Conner are going to be on, but they're relatively close in projection. Not exactly the same, but they are relatively close in projection. By the way, I just realized that I, for whatever reason, have not had the draft caddy and the combo ownerships up. So that is stupid. I should probably do that. Why wouldn't you do that, man? What's wrong with you? Well, I mean, I believe last week the team that finished, I want to say in 6th place, I believe was a 4-way dupe tie. So dupes absolutely happen in Battle Royale. I mean, make no mistake about that. Dupes are quite common in Battle Royale. Let's do, you know what? Let's do Garrett Wilson. That's a combo pair I'm probably a little lower on right now. Is on Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields. Man, how good was Justin Fields last week? Strong passing, really good running. I wonder what his PFF passing grade was. PFF passing grade. Justin Fields, the number 2 PFF graded passer last week. He had only 1 turnover-worthy play, a 9.2 ADOT, 2 throws batted down, only was sacked once, 3.38 times. Dude, Fields, man. Love to say it. Did Jahan Dotson have 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl? I'm pretty sure that's not true. He did have 3 for 59 last week. Did Jahan Dotson have... No, he didn't have 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Wow. Alex loves Dotson. Say it ain't so. All right. Don't auto-draft Fields, Burgundy. Don't do it. Don't do it to me. There we go. Secured Fields. Bang. Favorites. Ooh. Alexis knows ball. I love Dak and Pickens this week. GM, name a player you have 8% of, you wish you had 16% of. Tyler Warren. Player I have 16% of, but I wish I had less. Xavier Worthy. Isaac Guerrero. A lot of guys, honestly. Yeah, Roshan missed Monday Night Football with an injury, Brady. And Kyle Monangai also did not receive a carry, by the way. All right. Here are the highest owned combinatorial pairings this week in Battle Royale. 59% of Joe Burrow teams have Jamar Chase. 35% of Christian McCaffrey teams have Brian Thomas Jr. There you go. That's a totally uncorrelated. That just happens because it's in the room. Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers are very owned together. That's exactly what you'd expect. Yeah, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing Harold Fannin. Dude, it's Harold Fannin season. Fields, Gibbs, Connor, Puka, Garrett Wilson, Harold Fannin Jr. Oh, that's a guy I wish I had more of. I wish I had more JSN for sure. That feels like a real mistake being light on JSN. But I can make up for it in these BRs, baby. All right, let's get to the top of the hour. Then we'll do a dog bowl. Kyle Monangai might be the worst pass blocking running back I've seen. Yes, that was echoed by Mr. What's his name? The quarterback school guy. Jacob was just telling me that. All right, we've got pass blocking, running backs, 32 teams. Well, actually, it's just funnier to sort by this. Pass blocking grade. Monangai is like, wait, yeah, there you go. Kyle Monangai, 7.5 pass blocking grade. Only Travis Etienne, Woody Marks, and Javonte Williams were worse than him. Adrian, I think you went too hard, brother. I would not have dropped Colston Loveland for Fannin. Skelly Key this week. Might save that for the end of the video. I have been thinking about that. I think probably ultimately that's what this Thursday stream will end up being, is we'll end up doing, I'll end up calling it the Skeleton Key stream or something like that. Oh yeah, look, Tootin didn't have any pass blocking snaps. I don't think he didn't run a route. Yeah, Loveland will play more moving forward. That'll be amongst his lows. Here you go. LaQuint Allen was in on only 8 passing plays, 2 pass blocking plays, 79.4 pass blocking grade. There you go. This must be a hip room, because Derrick Henry at 3. I mean, I assume probably the Colts are the most week 1 overreaction performance. The Colts are just going to be a very average team, I think. I'll give you guys this one for free. Puka Nacua is the Skeleton Key wide receiver. Puka should not be available in the second round of drafts. All right, Brian says it's the Quay Walker tackle and assist night for DFS pick'em entries. I don't even know who Quay Walker is, but I will tail. Wow, I like this start that Ash just did with CD and St. Brown. Do I take the ADP? You know what? I'm actually going to do Josh Allen here. Pretty easy to explain, which is that obviously if Josh Allen is smashing, direct leverage on Lamar, and I think Derrick Henry and Lamar will be less combinatorially unique. I mean, the thing is I never do the same thing. I want to have as many different combinations of players as possible. Like, I don't always do the same thing at 106. I don't always do the same thing at 105. I guess this week at 101, 102, 103, I'm doing the same thing, but I just want Battle Royale is, like I said, it's a combinations game. You're trying to intelligently cover a lot of combos. Lamb and St. Brown? Is this Best Ball Mania 4? All right. I mean, I got to take Chase Brown here. I don't know why he fell. I guess that is like, I was about to take. Josh, I like this take a lot. I think Caleb Williams and Rome and DJ Moore are all too light. You know what? I'll do that next, Josh. We'll do a Caleb one next time. That's also a helpful thing for you guys to be doing, is make a mental note in your head of this is actually, I think you can even like literally like write it down, like while you're drafting, piece of notebook paper or whatever. Be like, oh, this is an idea I had. I think that Flacco Judy, just as an example, it is underowned. Yeah, CMC is going to get the full load. Wow, Neighbors, round 4 Neighbors, say less, dude. Go AZ Cards. You're gonna have to go watch the video, brother. Just posted my redacted video. Here you go. You want to go watch that? You can go watch that. You can come back in an hour. We'll still be here. You can go watch the redacted video of the week, which is the DraftKings salary cap DFS game by game preview show that I do every week with Jacob Sanderson. Oh man, we are in a good spot here. Man, I'm really of two minds here. I'm gonna take Garrett Wilson. So Davis, why did you take Garrett Wilson there? Like you're pretty deep in the combos, or this looks like a pretty chalky team. So it is a fairly chalky team of 100% drafted guys, but this is a combo that's very hard to get. Chase Brown 5 spots after ADP, Neighbors 7 spots after ADP. It's a lot harder to get that. So I basically bought myself. I got unique without sacrificing any projection. So that's something to think about as you are going through. Is if the room has gotten unique for you, then you don't have to sacrifice any projection for your unique combo. Someone did the McBride Fannin double. I will not have any of those for sure. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna take Kelsey. Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, Malik Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Travis Kelce. That's an all studded out team right there. Just a weird room. You know what? I actually just got an email that one of my Engage 8s got canceled. So let's go and figure that one out while we do it. Yeah, JT not 100% drafted. Couldn't even necessarily say if he should be. I mean, it's obviously a very tough matchup for Jonathan Taylor. But those are interesting guys to buy on NBR because the projections are still going to like Jonathan Taylor. All right, here we go. Let's not get this Engage 8 thrown out, fellas. Making a more concerted effort to do some of the non-lottos because I basically only did the lottery field style tournaments last week, and you know, you do that. You live to you have the consequences of your behavior. Charlene wants me to pick up Kendrick Bourne. I don't know about that. Why would I pick up Kendrick Bourne? He did get paid $5 million. He's been teammates with him before. You know, that is true. They have been teammates before. In these smaller field tournaments, I've had some questions about these. Like, what do you do in some of the single entry? What do you do in the limited entry fields? Well, you can care way less about uniqueness. You're so much less likely to catch a dupe. The uniqueness just does not matter near as much. Do we know how often Battle Royale is won by a Q tag swap? That's actually a great question. I actually, you know what's funny? is I know that one of Peter's big scores, I actually forget which one it was, one of Peter's big results last year was a swap. I want to say he swapped onto JSN. It might have even been a Geno double stack with Metcalf and JSN. We'll take CD on this one. And in that, he ended up running really hot. I would say it's most useful with running backs. So the example that I come back to is last year, week 1, with Christian McCaffrey and Jordan Mason. Slightly hard to get this combo. We'll go Saquon and CD. There you go. It was the Zay Flowers and JSN team that Peter smashed with. Yeah. So obviously, like, swapping is good, and you should be thinking about it as you were going through on your teams. I'm actually gonna have some teams from Monday that I have to swap because I drafted some George Kittle. Hopefully, by the way, swapping into Fannin. There's actually some really good stuff on swapping in the masterclass that I would encourage you guys to read. This is a really tough one. Gut first instinct to this one, Kenneth Walker or Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Honestly, gut reaction is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. We're all slappies here, dude. Someone said that I overdo the slappy voice. He said it was bordering on annoying, to which I said bordering on annoying is basically my whole bit. Like, basically bordering on annoying is what I do here. All right. Man, this could just be a total eat the chalk team. I do kind of want to take honestly, I do want to take St. Brown. We're doing it. I'm just totally eating the chalk here. Bordering on annoying is the title of the next thumbnail. I love it. All right, Dave says Ramsey looked pretty good, but he's still hammering JSN. Yeah, bordering on annoying. Put it on my tombstone. All right, and then we are gonna. Oh, I can't even take James Conner. All right, here's a way to get unique. Just not very many 3 wide receiver teams in the pool. We'll take JSN. Hard to not overdo your own voice. Will be just not very many 3 wide receiver teams in my portfolio, but obviously, you know, if you're going to draft 300 teams, you want to have a fairly equal distribution. You want to just have a fairly wide distribution of potential outcomes that can benefit you. Well, at least I do. Some people play the game the exact opposite. You know, a lot of people, like I know one of the guys who's played very well in BRs, Awen. He just does these super exploitative exposures, right? I mean, he'll take like 40% of guys. You know, he'll just go nuts. Like multiple guys. Shout out to him for doing it. Any CMC Saquon teams? I don't think I have one yet. Doesn't mean I don't. If I do, I don't remember. All right. So do I want to do Goff? Do I want to do Dak? No chance for Harold Fannin Jr. on this team. Is Alec Iomanner going to be Cam Ward's safety blanket? I mean, I think probably not. Last week was a very tough matchup for Patrick Surtain. All right, let's do. I mean, Goff is the less owned one, is the least owned. So sure, we'll do Goff with St. Brown. Starting Pickens or Coleman. I'm going Pickens. Got to imagine Pickens projects better than Coleman. It's like not a super friendly game environment for Coleman. Here, let me look at the. Let me check the projections. Tight end. Yeah, I basically have an unowned quarterback, so I'll take Tyler Warren. Sure. Jared Goff, Saquon Barkley, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. What was I checking? Oh. All right. Coleman, 11 points. Pickens, 13 points. Yeah, got Pickens. The Sloppyverse probably is not going to enjoy a poor game from Harold Fannin this week. I, however, will be drafting some David Njoku teams this week. All right, let's do a Dawg Bowl qualifier. A DBQ, boys. The road to Kansas City starts right now. All right, who do we have in here? We've got Mathology, we've got Nez, we've got JMC, we've got Razor, we've got Patrick Barnes YouTube, we've got E. Coxer, we've got Mark Zorner. So just totally friends and family around in here. I mean, James Cook and Breece Hall are fine. I think Breece is going to be very low owned. Yeah, Aaron. I think they will. Very low. I would rather have Nico Collins than the Walker A-Chain combo Fresno kid. What if Spencer Rattler is what you need in the Dog Bowl? Ooh. Wow. PD, Mr. BBMDB.app himself. Assuming that you are somewhat settled at running back, like if you don't truly, like if you have like Tootin on this team, you've got some other darts. I would drop Scattaboo for Fannin, yeah. Scattaboo is a long way away. I mean, he barely played in that game. You know, I don't know if I would say arrows down. I would say that if you were looking for reasons for optimism in the Texans offense, it was probably pretty hard to find with what they did in week 1. They did run a lot more 11 personnel, but it was still, you know, it was a lot of run, pass, punt. The offensive line was horrible. None of the running backs looked any good. You know, it was Stroud did not look particularly good. You know, Nico was not, you know, wide open the whole game. Like it just, there seems to be very little to be encouraged about with the Houston Texans offense compared to our expectations. In particular, just if you don't have a ground game at all in the modern NFL, like if you can never generate explosives or positive plays with the ground game, it's tough. Yeah, Rams defense is good. I mean, don't get me wrong, Rams defense is good. Low drafted quarterback stack that I like this week. I mean, Flacco and Njoku, man. Flacco and Njoku is just you're gonna get 49 dropbacks. I've not heard an update. I don't believe Brock Bowers practiced yesterday. So missing practice is not great. Let's go see what the most recent word on Mr. Bowers is. I'm kind of expecting him not to play this week. Day to day per Pete Carroll. All right, we're about up. But Warren got lots of passing game usage, though. Aaron Rodgers and Calvin Austin. Man, Calvin Austin played a lot. All right, we're going to go Devin A-Chain, and then we are going to select Devin A-Chain. Yeah, man, I kind of want to take Kyron. We'll take JT, though. It's pretty duped. We're taking Kyron. I don't even know how big the projection gap is there. Wow, one of the least annoying fantasy football streamers. Beautiful. Yeah, Monday game as well for Bowers, which sucks. All my Bowers teams, I tried to get Michael Mayer. I would be very curious thoughts of other people who are going to the Dawg Bowl. I don't know if Crutches is here or whatever, but I like the elite tight ends a little bit less in BR because the opportunity cost at running back and wide receiver is much higher. The opportunity cost is quite low in the six mans. Mateer is going to have at least 8 touchdowns against Temple. At least. Yeah, we'll do a couple PTPs, Daniel, if you guys would like. We'll do a couple primetime Palooza drafts. There actually were a couple angles that I liked this week in the PTPs. There you go. Algo, Easy's Algo has McBride 5th in BRs, 10 in DBQ. That sounds about right to me. Miami or USF? I do not know enough to know. I don't even know who Miami's quarterback is this year. My brother texted me and said he came in 13th in the last PTP on a single bullet. Okay. Yeah, Fannin is very fun. He either goes like round 4 or is the second to last pick, depending on how many slappies are there. Oh, that's right. It's Carson Beck. That's right. I did know that. Yeah, they tried to get McBride. McBride got tackled. He got tackled at the 4, like right before James Conner scored, right? I'm not firing very many. Ecoxer. I'm firing like 4 to 5. Maybe some week I'll do like 10. $25. $25 to get 10K to first, but it's basically just like a winner take all contest, and you know I want to draft as many teams as possible. Yes, yeah, McBride was wide open on the Connor shovel. I've been stuck at choosing who to sit in my full PPR redraft league. Sit 1, Brees, Connor, Pollard, Igbuka. Yeah, dude, it's Pollard. Hey, man, even $25 in site credits for winner take all goes fast. Chad says he agrees on tight end not being worth it as much in the DBQ. He could, yeah. I mean, yeah, McBride is, what is he, 4 points better than every tight end? 3 points better than every tight end? So as soon as they fix this Njoku projection is wrong. Something is wrong with this Njoku projection. So whenever that's changed, he's 3 to 4 points better than every other tight end in the pool. 12-man PPR 2 flex. Pollard, Sampson, Pearsall, Debo. Probably Debo and Pearsall. Kittle in an offseason pod was pumping McBride's tires and was suggesting the Cards might try and give him some Make-A-Wish touchdowns. They did. Literally, they tried. They did. They did. Because that shovel play, I think, was Kyler had the option one way or the other, and he went with the James Conner option. I mean, projecting the Steelers' backfield is pretty tough, but yeah, I mean, Warren, I think is. Oh, you mean Tyler Warren? I mean, I don't think Tyler Warren is going to get very many carries. Yeah, I have the screen grab of me versus Chess Liam in the Eliminator. Liam's team is not very good in that one. I agree with this. I think I would probably rank McBride 4 in the Davis-Maddock mental model. All right. AJ Brown on having one catch week 1. Just know I'm excited for week 2. The enemy speaks kindly and carries a knife. The Jets did the opposite of the defensive meta last week. Stop the run, leave the expansive. Well, also, I mean, Rodgers pretty good. My Chase Brown for his ETN, Ken Walker, and Shakir. No, you never want to trade away the best player in the trade. I mean, my team is not great either. It really only has Caleb Williams at quarterback because my other quarterback is Cam Ward. Yeah, you are wrong, Nick. The sharp play is definitely not to fade McBride. Like, obviously, you can't get McBride on every team just by a function of the room. Oh yeah, I'm about to have a fun turn right here. All right, so I'm going to take George Pickens. And then on top of that, I'm going to select DJ Moore. And that's going to give me 2 quarterbacks to choose from and a wide receiver I'm way higher on than the field. I mean, I'm not worried about my Chiefs. I just think the Chiefs are going to be bad. The Chiefs are going to have a very, very tough time against the Philadelphia Eagles this week. Well, yes, if he goes 7 for 70 at pick 5, that is yes. Nick, I don't think you are groundbreaking anything. 7 for 70 is no good. Also, 7 for 70 might be the highest tight end score in a given BR week. I definitely am going to be playing a lot of JCM. I probably won't lock him, but I'm going to be playing a lot of him. I mean, I don't think any individual matchup is signal or noise for Trey McBride, but I think they'll probably try pretty hard to get him a touchdown. Survivor pick this week. I think Dallas is going to end up being the team that I take most often in Survivor. They have the best combination of future value. Brown safety Grant Delpit on tackling Derrick Henry. Not hard. I would like to meet Grant Delpit in the pit. Yeah, Rams feel fine in Survivor. I used Arizona a ton in Survivor last week. My point more, I'm just saying, is that 7 for 70 is 11 points. Yes, correct. I mean that literally you are hitting the nail on the head. McBride has so something that people get wrong about fantasy football projections is that something that volume in and of itself can create ceiling. So just the fact that Trey McBride is projected for the most targets means that he has a shit ton of ceiling. Way more ceiling than a guy Yes, Tucker Kraft can score a touchdown on one of his 4 targets. But even if Trey McBride, so think about it this way. If Trey McBride is half as likely on a given target to score a touchdown than Tucker Kraft, they still are going to have equal touchdown projections, or McBride actually more likely to score a touchdown because he sees that he's targeted more often. The problem, yes, Chip hits the nail on the head as usual, which is that the problem is that McBride was genetically engineered to never score touchdowns. Well, yeah, Juwan had 11 targets last week, but we also have a huge sample of Juwan Johnson not really being a target-earning player. Juwan Johnson played for the entirety of last season and had 1 game with more than 7 targets. Whereas McBride has the exact opposite. McBride has this huge sample of playing a ton and earning targets. If Kyler was 2 inches taller, McBride would average 1 TD a game. I mean, you're probably right, honestly. Honestly, sad for Kyler. Because he would be one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen play if he just was a little bit bigger. I also think that. I think everyone should project exactly for their week 1 stat line. Nez, as usual, knows ball. That is the right way to go about things. He does. He runs like Stewie Griffin, Kyler. All right. So I could take Dak or I could take Caleb. Caleb drafted less often. The aforementioned Brenton Strange. Kincaid, dude, all right. You guys are gonna hate me, man. I actually think Kincaid is a click in the dog bowl. I think he's probably pretty bad. In the 6-mans. I mean, this is just true. If Greg Dortch was 6'3", he would be the GOAT. I mean, I'm totally blocked at tight end here. I mean, I guess I am just going to take Brenton Strange. Oh. All right, what do you guys think I do at quarterback? Dak or Caleb? All ears. Dakota Prescott or Caleb? Dak for 19.45, Caleb for 19.3. All right, there you go. Easy solved it for me. Dakota Prescott, bang. Jake Ferg, bang. Done. Dak Prescott, Devin Achane, Kyron Williams, George Pickens, DJ Moore, Jake Ferguson. Well, Chad, you didn't speak up soon enough. Yeah, I believe Easy is currently second right now in the DraftKings MLB Best Ball contest. The Drake Henry round 5-6 people all think they're being unique, and you see it every draft. Oh, please don't dupe me in the dog bowl, bro. Please don't dupe me in the dog bowl, bro. All right. Dak Prescott, Devin Achane, Kyron Williams, George Pickens. Who else did anything interesting here? Mark has Josh Allen and Keon Coleman. Ooh, Jalen Warren. That's a no-no. E. Coxer win a 3 wide receiver team with Trevion Henderson as his running back 1. Yes, he does. Pete does, in fact, have a whole section on that in the masterclass. The Drake May round 5 to set up Booty round 6 is perhaps the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Who are the combinatoric duos that we want to avoid this week to avoid dupes? I mean, honestly, I would say Number one, if you really care about this stuff, I would say Burrow, Chase, and Lamar Flowers. Those are insane overlapping ownerships. AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, a little bit less. Josh Allen, any of his teammates, but the biggest one that is going to be duped most often is Burrow and Chase. Nez did what here? Henry, Brees, Metcalf, Hollywood, Mahomes. Wow. Hollywood, Mahomes. Week 2 of the season. Yes, I think this is obviously better. I wouldn't avoid quarterback, wide receiver if they're good. Just make sure you get different in 1 or 2 spots. What explains the Brian Thomas and Christian McCaffrey? Their ADPs line up, which is basically the worst combo to do. When 2 players who are totally uncorrelated are heavily on each other's rosters because their ADPs line up. Nez says this team is not the shipper. You never know. JMC did Gibbs, Hurts, Cook, Flowers, Devonta, Juwan Johnson. Unironic, good pick in the Dog Bowl. I'm ready to say this in front of everyone right now. Mac Jones. I have not pulled up Derek Carty's projections yet. How many fantasy points is he going to have McCorkle Jones for? Wow, not as many as I thought. Unreal. Last week, the Blitz had McCorkle Jones or had Daniel Jones as the 4th highest scoring quarterback of the slate. This slate, he has Mac Jones for 16 points. Incredible. All right, you learn something new every day. All right, we'll do a PTP here real quick. Little Thursday night PTP action. Mac Jones, Spencer Rattler. It's like a high-level college football game from 5 seasons ago. All right, I bet Hotsy Sauce is probably autoing off rankings. He is one of the best players on Underdog. Hotsy Sauce, very, very good player. Oh, yes. I've never IKB'd anything harder. Dude, all right. You have no mojo if you are taking Aaron Jones over Bill Krosky-Merritt. Your mojo is at 0 if you are taking Aaron Jones over Bill Krosky-Merritt. The PT dive is only 456 entries. Maybe we'll do that one. Can Benson of Arizona be the Sean Tucker of this week? I mean, anything can be anyone if you're saying guys get hurt. Wow. I mean, they're just... This actually looks like a beatable PTP because Jefferson should be going over Bijan. JCM should be going over Aaron Jones. Jaden Reed should not be going ahead of any of these. Dude, this is the most beatable PTP of all time. Sir, please put some respect on my name. Aaron Jones is a Nate-ass pick. Except remember, he was so mad we took Aaron Jones on that team. He wanted Cam Scattaboo. Well, I am going to take... Drake London is a really good pick. But Bill will not come back to me. Minetto, thank you for reminding me to harp on Nate about Cam Scattaboo. Well, would Bill on average have come back to me? Probably no chance, right? Yes, the Green Bay wide receiver room is a nightmare, but it's awesome for this game. The Green Bay wide receiver room is awesome for PTP because they have so many guys who are draftable. Look, dude, Dontavian Wicks is the wide receiver 13 on this slate. Do you take shits? Yeah, because I'm going to take Golden. Man, tricky. I'm just gonna Dipperino there with McLaurin. I'm sure that Bill over Drake is bad. The key to PTPs is playing enough volume to pass on Bill in round 2 because you'll get him round 3 in the next one. Valid. Very valid. 8-team half PPR got offered BTJ and ETN. Well, ETN is like useless in 8-team. So just treat ETN as a 0. All right, so you do shits, and then you do Golden at flex, and then we're chilling. And I'd rather have Neighbors than Jonathan Taylor. I have never done the DK snake drafts. I know some people like sit and hammer them though. Well, Gumby always drafts the winners. Gumby always drafts the theoretical winners for sure. Man, this is the most weight on a quarterback ass PTP slate of all time. I think I would take a quarterback round 6 every time and just not care about the distributions. DK snake drafts are hilarious. Wow, the 101 gets the first pick of the last round too. How very redacted of them. What is the PTP dive cost? Is that $100? I'm not doing that. Wow, and I do get Golden though for the flex. And then get which, I mean, it doesn't matter the difference between these two. No, Bill does not play on passing downs. GM or GA mark. All right, well, all right, we'll do that. We'll do the dive next. I mean, what can you do? I need to be, I guess I'll be more of a Leone respecter in that one though. What an interesting PTPs are. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. Because you've got, you can really put the field, you can really kill the field. Because I could have just right here doubled up instead of McLaurin. Like I think McLaurin projects so bad. Why Jefferson over Bijan? Because he's the best player in fantasy football, brother. All right. Here you go. Primetime dive. Come and get it, fellas. We'll do one. I've not looked at any projections for these slates. The site to find the player combo percentages is called the Draft Caddy. It is a Google Chrome or Firefox web extension. It costs $25 a month, and it is a tool to draft best ball teams and battle royale teams. There you go. I did not know that, but good to know. Pick 2 12-team PPR flex. Golden Hunter. I mean, Golden and Hunter. To be fair, who has not killed the Falcons recently? That's fair. All right. Wow, we do have some no Badgers in attendance with me and Mr. Go Easy cards, so maybe we find the shipper here. Yeah, I will take Justin Jefferson again. Mr. Jefferson, my life is in your hands. I guess this is, so I'm going to do what Easy said, and I'm just going to hope to get JCM back around at 11, or I'm just dead. I guess I'm just dead at running back, right? That's the thing. So what do you do in this slate if you are just truly dead at running back if you don't get one of these guys? Because he's not going to, because the Jordan Love went at 9 last time. That is not going to happen again now. All right. All right, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it this time. For DK this week, is the Saints defense a good play? Sure. Debo is really strong in these. I'm in a whole ass argument with Nate now. I don't know why I ever let him do this to me. I'm in a whole ass argument with Nate about Cam Scatterbo now. Any of that stuff will show up in the line. If the two offensive linemen being out really matters, it will show up in the line. All right, so okay, that worked out. I'll get Aaron Jones. I kind of want Jordan Mason more, actually. No, we'll go Aaron Jones. All right. Jefferson, London, Jones. Davis, what you don't understand. I mean, classic Nate. Classic. I don't love Eckler for this slate. They might have to use him more, though. I do like Hawk. That's a lot of Minnesota, though, is the issue. Honestly, isn't Ertz better than Kraft and Hawkinson? Or am I tripping? I should have looked at the Leone projection stuff. I think I just take whatever they give me at tight end. We'll do you know what? I believe. It's a Matthew Golden night. I believe. Kraft tight end 1. Wow, Nez, I didn't know you were such a Kraft respecter. Honestly, you've taken me unawares with your Kraft respecting. It was always Matthew Golden in the primetime dive, boys. It was never not Matthew Golden in the primetime dive. Golden TD in the lobby, down to 1.71. Glue Eater is big in the UD lobbies. Would I get boxed out at tight end? This guy would have to take 2. I don't think I would. Yeah, I might get Kraft anyway. Well, Go Easy Cards is going to get him. I'll get Ertz. There you go. And then it doesn't matter. The difference between the quarterbacks doesn't matter. All right, there you go. There's the primetime Palooza dive shipper. Oh, man. Ooh, Golden or Fannin in the flex this week on FFPC. That's a tough one. What do you do, boys? It's gotta be Fannin. Oof. I had the highest scoring Jefferson team on the Monday Night Football primetime slate, and the Vikes only threw 20 passes. The Fannin bet. Speaking of the Fannin bet, you might be a slappy. Well, you might be a slappy if you cite Travion Henderson as a reason to not take the big dog. If you've ever drafted Genty and Hampton as your running back 1 and your running back 2, you might be a slappy. If you've ever drafted Jalen Warren and Miles Sanders together, you might be a slappy. If you have even conceived of the thought, the Fannin bet, you might be a slappy.
Yeehaw!
Not the Fannin bet, dude. Quack, quack. All right. Let's knock in some more BR drafts. Let's actually, you know what? Let's do the single entry. Let's do the victory formation, single entry, $1,000 first place, and we can talk a little bit about single entry BR strategy. So in these smaller fields, I think one of the biggest mistakes that gets made is people draft them the same way that they draft main BRs, or the same way they would draft a dog bowl or whatever. You can hew so much closer to the projections, and there are just so many fewer entries in these. What is their total entrance? 564 total entrants. Like there's almost no reason to think that your combo is going to be duped. I mean, this is actually an interesting thought experiment. If every entrant in the contest auto-drafted, I guess if every entrant auto-drafted, the teams would come out the exact same. But like, okay, if one entrant auto-drafted every time, how likely would it be for there to be exact duplicated teams? Not that likely, right? I am saying that in single entry you can just play the best plays. Just you pick the guys who project very well. But there basically is just these are like the least fancy play contests on the application. How many entries is Da Bomb? Maybe that one is slightly encourages more fancy play. Jefferson, Fannin, Golden, TD DFS pick'em entry pays 24.54. Ooh, I need to start thinking about my touchdown survivor entry over on Splash Sports. Started Lamar McBride. That's a very good way to play. I think that is, and now I know that combo's out there at least once. What? How many total drafts are there in this? 564 divided by 6. So there are only 94 total drafts in this. So at most you can be duped 93 times if you drafted a team and then you start getting into the extra rates. I will not be playing Trey McBride in the touchdown survivor. That much I can be sure. We need one more for this one, by the way. Yeah, definitely will not. We'll probably go the entire year without playing a tight. Well, will I play a tight end once in the touchdown survivor? Probably not. Ooh, I'm in this very fun contest. You guys would probably like this. I'm in this very fun contest called Cervantasy. It is exactly what it sounds like. You can use a player once, and it's like a cut down format. It's very cool. And I gotta maybe I'll set my lineup for this at the end. We need one more for the victory formation. Someone come and fill this victory formation room. Yeah, Kevin will probably draft RJ Harvey in this one, so he will be doing he'll be doing some aura farming on us. Like, honestly, in this contest, there we go, we filled it. In this contest, I'm trying, who's like the lowest ADP guy I would take? Fan and bet. Ooh, there we go. They're 19. Kevin told me he took RJ Harvey in a BR the other day. And that's why he's the man, and I'll be a fan. I don't know. You probably don't want an underdog this early in touchdown survivor. You probably are leaning more towards, honestly, you're probably leaning most of your picks for like running back home favorites. See, if you're just doing what the computer says, then you probably have a good team in this contest. I wonder what was my victory formation team last week. I bet it was terrible. I probably shouldn't even look it up. Underdog results, NFL victory formation. Did I not enter it last week? No, I did. Let's see how dog shit this team was. Yep. So I basically did the exact opposite of what I said. I drafted Joe Flacco, terrible. I drafted Joe Flacco and Jerry Jeudy. So I did a terrible job in the victory formation last week. What that tells me is I was probably multi-tabling, and I probably didn't realize that it was a single entry. So now I'm way more locked in. Yeah, you could do one piece of flair. I would not recommend doing this. This is dog shit. Don't do this. Don't take a 7.4% drafted Joe Flacco. That is good advice, to not do that. Truly idiotic stuff from yours truly. Barkley at 4 to Mr. Eater of Glue. I'll have a little bit of Flacco in the main BR, but I will not be taking Joe Flacco in the smaller stuff. I don't think it is particularly worth it. All right. Yeah. Wow. This is a dreamboat start. Maybe a little bit of value there on Puka. Got to be thinking about what I'd like to do at the quarterback position. What do I want to do at quarterback on this one? Fields. Dak Pickens is maybe just enough there. To be fair, yes, he will be less than. I had one really good team last year. I'd have to go back and look. You know what? We're just gonna I'm just picking by average. A-Chain. Do I want A-Chain? No, I don't. I'm gonna take Marvin Harrison Jr. and I'm gonna do Kyler on this one. Yeah, God. Okay. Well, what's funny is I remember my best one last year had Travis Kelce on it. And if I would have taken Sam Laporta instead of Travis Kelce, they had the same ADP. I would have finished third. I do remember that from last year. It's somewhere up on my results tab. I can find it. I wonder. Was it week 16? I had a good finish. No. Somewhere. I had a 30 here. This team finished 31st. Here, this is the team. This is the team that finished 31st. Goff, Chase Brown, James Conner, Amon-Ra, Devontae Adams, Travis Kelce with 4 points. And then I believe the team that finished third was my team with Laporta. One of these teams up here. Yeah, here you go. Exact same team, but with Laporta, 5K. So Goff, Chase Brown, James Conner, ARSB, Adams, Kelce. Same team, but with Laporta. All right, we are on this team gonna select. Well, I'm just gonna punt the decision down. I'm gonna take Kyler Murray. That was probably stupid because the guy behind me didn't need a quarterback, but had 4 top 20 BR finishes last year and can already say this week I'll be back. Well, hey, I'll be looking out for you, brother. Man, I actually had completely forgotten about this until this minute right now. Just more examples of the Kansas City Chiefs costing me money. Yes, people do forget. Chip won. Was this the one you won, Chip? No, it wasn't. People do forget Chip won the main BR last year. All right. What do I want to do? You know what? Dude, it's the Fannin bet. And then I'm going to scroll for my last one. Love to make the Fannin bet in the victory formation. That's what it's all about, man. It's probably unique enough. He probably won't be 100% drafted, right? No chance. Or at least I would be surprised if he is. See, I don't recommend doing this. I don't recommend looking at your elim teams to see how alive they are. I have an elim matchup with 5 repeat players. I think I saw no one has more than 6. I do have a streak going from last night. My favorite thing is to do streaks with lowers on home runs and then complain when the guys who hit home runs hit home runs. I think I had Shohei Ohtani and Cal Raleigh lowers last night on home runs. I kind of want to take Pollard here. Could take Hubbard. No, we're going to take Kamara. Double olds. Kyler Murray, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison, and Harold Fannin Jr. You can't edit BR team names. They don't let you do it. For whatever reason, they've never built that functionality in. So you just kind of have to hope. All right, that's a fairly good single entry team, I think. Kyler, Henry, Kamara, Puka, Marv, Fannin. What else is in the slate? So I did my single entry. Done with the engage 8. Done with that. Done third and long we could do. Might want to wait. 12-man. Flea Flicker 75. The double reverse. I think I maxed that. Yep. Do you guys ever do the the early or late slate drafts? I do not. Can go back into the old Battle Royale. 94 left. What if I streamed all 150 of my Battle Royales one week? That would be nuts. Maybe I will. Maybe that's kind of a fun idea. Just a marathon stream of 5 tabling BRs. Holy shit. This is fake, dude. There's no way. There's no way. This guy is not happening, dude. There ain't no way. Xavier Worthy, shoulder. This is a fake practice. Everyone, do not get over your skis. Do not get over your skis. This is so fake. He is not, it's not even close. Yeah, he's working in some capacity. Yeah, I mean, like, it definitely makes sense to get him out on the field just to see if he can even run, but he is not close to playing football. Yeah, I'm also working in some capacity right now. There's not any less chance that he needs surgery. He's got to see how his body responds. He's still a long way away from mattering for our fantasy football teams. I'm not even going to be excited about him on the field. I haven't done a Josh team in a while. Sure, we'll do a Josh team. He's I don't think I get the reference. Desmond Watsoning. What I'm saying is that this dude is just not close to playing to mattering for our fantasy teams. He's a month away at most, or at least. All right, we'll do a Josh McBride. He's a month away at least. Yes. Yeah, yes. Okay, that is what he's doing. Yeah. He's literally just walking around. I guess maybe it's slightly more bullish that he would not have a surgery. But remember, Hollywood Brown also returned to practice and then immediately left practice and had another surgery on his collarbone. He's a month away from a month away. No, I just think that his chances of not having a surgery are still pretty low. Xavier Worthy is he's not built different. That's the thing that we know about Xavier Worthy is he's built different in a bad way. He's built different in that he weighs 160 pounds. He is built different. Yes, built different, like incorrectly. I mean, doesn't Taylor Swift money have the ability to buy us some crazy like stem cell treatment or something positive? Yeah, I will take A-Chain here. Gained more weight than Marvin Harrison. I don't know about that. Yeah, he played with a broken bone in his hand, but I think playing with a broken bone in your shoulder is a lot different. I don't think it's this. I don't think it's to make the Eagles prepare for Worthy. I think the Eagles are smart enough to understand that Worthy's not playing this week. We'll do Amon-Ra, but then we need to remember to get weird with one of our two next picks. I'm not going to give you positive. It's not a negative sign. No. Zoophouse, I love you, brother. Xavier Worthy is not playing this week. Their best case scenario is he avoids the injured reserve, like him getting a practice in. But I do need to remind you guys that Hollywood also came back to practice, and then immediately here I'll even take you guys back. We can go through the Hollywood Brown experience. How do I get... God, man, they really did mess up Roto World. Just to go back and try and get all of the blurbs is impossible. I guess you can't even. No, you can. Are Liam and I beefing? I did not know. Wow, I actually forgot Chris Rodriguez existed. Is there any chance Chris Rodriguez plays? Probably not, right? It's probably just over for him. I guess he could. Yes, Jets drop bombs. I did see your name in there. Okay. God, this website is not good. Roto World, give us our website back. All right. Hollywood Brown injures his shoulder. Hollywood Brown could return for week 2 against the Bengals. Hollywood Brown did not practice. Shoulder will not play. He's out. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid told reporters that Hollywood Brown is getting close to return. Hollywood Brown doesn't practice. Hollywood Brown placed on injured reserve. Yeah, I agree with David. Literally the worst thing that Xavier Worthy could do would be to play too early. If you are a Xavier Worthy bag holder, you're already dead. What I would encourage you to do is reduce your expectations to Xavier Worthy does not play at all this season, misses the entire season with a shoulder surgery. Anything you get that is above 0 points from Xavier Worthy is a win. Let's do Kyron, and then we go scroll at wide receiver. Correct. This is the only thing to do is just to mentally accept 0 points. All you can do. All right, I've got a scroll so gross that no one is ready for it. I'm not a little excited. No. Yeah, you guys might be sick, but are you sick enough to play Khalil Shakir in BRs? Probably not, bro. Probably not. Alan McBride's super good. Yeah, Kincaid is just always bad. Josh Allen, Devin Achane, Kyron Williams, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Khalil Shakir, Trey McBride. You love to see it. You sure do. Wow. Kevin, I did miss you drafting Josh Palmer in the victory formation. I did, Kevin. I'm sorry, man. I missed the flare. You did it for me, and I missed it. Got offered Saquon. Yeah, take it. Take it and run. It's the hardest thing to get in fantasy football are the top 5 players, and you're getting given a top 5 player, so I would tell you to go for it. That is my opinion. All right, who are some of these stacks that I just have not drafted any of yet? May, I'm pretty light on. Knicks, I have like none of. That is something that is probably a little bit underdone in BRs, is like building backwards from stacks that you would like. I know I do a bad job of that. Wow. Kevin drafted Mac Jones and Razor. Oh, no, he wants me to draft Mac Jones. I don't think Mac Jones is draftable in these. He might just. We'll do CD, sure. Wow. Mac Ricky as the highest opto rate versus the field. Okay. I say less, dude. Say less, easy. They think I won't draft McCorkle? They don't know about me, brother. Wow, folks. The ETR optimal rates are out. They do not have Trey McBride as the number 2 overall player, which I thought was surprising. Lower than I thought on JSN. Interesting. All right, we'll do Chase Brown, and then we're setting it up. Yeah, Purdy does. I believe Purdy's already announced out, so you don't even need the swaption. Believe Mr. Purdy has already entered into the out phase of his life. McCorkle and Pearsall is going to feed families. Imagine if it does, bro. Imagine if that's literally what you need. I guess we'll find out. Well, I mean, Bo Nix, dude, we just drafted Bo Nix as a top 100 pick for 6 months, and then he came out and sucked in week 1. And he did really suck too. That was like more sucking than I thought was possible for him. He was really bad. May to Henry is like actually like a mid-curve thing. May and Henry is going to be more owned in these contests than you would think. Dang, Achane would have fit this contest nicely. We'll do Kyron. Kyron's just such a good pick. No one ever likes Kyron, and then he just gets 16 every week. I agree with this. Yeah, Dak CD Neighbors is very, very strong. Can I get an official report from one of the Chiefs beat writers of like the details of this worthy practice? I would love some kind of update. Like what is this dude, like, how banged up is he? How dislocated is his shoulder? I cannot believe that Travis Kelce dislocated this man's shoulder. Just insane. All right, we're going to take Laporta to set it up. And then we've got Rizzy. Oh, Rizzy already got drafted. Who took him? Oh. Nikki Cow 69 said you can't have it. I can't get there with Tracy this week. Are you guys taking Tracy in 6-mans? Feels thin. All right, I guess we're opting to Goff JMO. Goff double. No, Kelce did not mean to hit anyone. Kelce got pushed off his route by the safety. Oh, they never saw the Goff double coming. They never saw it. They're not going to see it either. Tracy did have a very high snap count. That is true. Many snaps. All right, Jared Goff. All right, let's try again. Goff, Chase Brown, Kyron, CeeDee, JMO, Laporta. No bring back. That's we're playing that as the Lions get right team. He wanted to easy. He thought about it. Oh, he said he ran the wrong route. Yeah, he wanted to be in the way of Worthy's guy, but not that far in the way. All right, this is going to be a Barkley team. This is going to be a Barkley, Chase Brown, maybe a Barkley Achane team. Take Achane early. Maybe a Barkley McBride team. Never let them know where you're slapping from, boys. Something worth keeping close. Yeah, I drafted a lot of Purdy, obviously, in Best Ball Mania and in the main streets, and it's tough. It's quite tough. Because you just don't think of you don't think when you're drafting oh, there's injury prone quarterbacks. Like, what? You're like, it just is total, and there's no way to prevent it. Okay. Yep, we're gonna do Saquon over CeeDee, an early running back team. We're gonna figure this one out. How would you order the quarterbacks in terms of taking them naked with a stack partner? I think mine is Allen, Fields, Hurts, Jackson, Daniels. That seems right. As a streamer, is it easier to be successful with good takes or good presentation? I mean, ideally a combination of both. Like, Liam doesn't give a shit about presentation, and that totally limits his channel's ability to grow. Like, if Liam would pay a thumbnail artist and get some graphics and stuff set up, his channel could do a lot better because he's a Best Ball Mania champion. But at the same degree, if I ever had a good, we'll never know, but if I did ever have a good take, that would be pretty big for my channel as well. But you definitely have to have you have to have a little bit of production value for sure. McBride? No, okay. We're gonna do Chase Brown. No, Nick, this is absolutely wrong. People absolutely care about the ring. And this is also not true that 100% of people would rather watch Peter over Liam. It's just absolutely not true at all. And the reason I specifically remember that is that the first Best Ball Breakfast, I remember that Liam went live at the same time, and he still had like 200 people watching him at the same time that Peter was live. So I know that's not true. So you have to be good at I mean, ideally you'd be good at both things. But you what'd they say I was gonna do on this one? McCorkle. Let's do Marvin Harrison, and then we'll do McCorkle. But basically, there is a hard ceiling to how big your anything on YouTube can be if your packaging is not good. Your thumbnails have to be good, your titling has to be good, your audio has to be good, your graphics have to be like it all has to be good. Yeah, and also exactly, Pete also is like pretty successful and good at the games. All right, I'm not getting sniped this time. Give me Mr. Rizzard Pearsall. Oh, Michael, don't get hopes up for don't get your hopes down on your fade. Well, yes, I mean, frankly, nothing matters unless people like you. If people don't like you, if you're not entertaining, if you're not smart, if you can't speak on camera, if you're not comfortable, then none of it matters. Like a lot, this will happen where people will get mad at me on the internet, and then people will be like, dude, you should have that guy that's mad at you on the show. And I'm like, this random internet troll is not going to be good on the internet. Like they're not going to be able to speak intelligently or eloquently. They're not going to have anything. They're going to be nervous on the camera. They're going to stutter. They're not going to be any good. Where were you when Mac Jones won me the week 2 BR for $40,000? Honestly, the Gilcast numbers are basically the same, but you know what does more? I'm sure more people read Levitan's cash game review article on ETR than have ever heard of the Gilcast. If you won't stream during the NFC Championship, I'm just not going to watch your content. And I love and appreciate you fellas who've been here through thick and thin. That's for gosh darn sure. Lord knows we ain't doing it for the love of the game. What do we do at tight end here? We thinking Laporta, we thinking Fannin. Are we thinking Hunter Henry's got to be giga bad? Njoku? No, it's going to be Njoku. We're going totally off the rails here. Least owned team: Mac Jones, Saquon Barkley, Chase Brown, Marvin Harrison Jr., Ricky Pearsall. You do just love to see it. Ugh. Oh, yes, if I shipped BBM, I would get up to 20,000 subs. The viewers for each video would double. I don't even think it's a question. Cuz that is you get in so many people. So obviously there are a certain degree of people that just think I'm stupid and are like, "Well, that guy's never said anything worthwhile ever in his life." Those people obviously have to change their minds. Then there's people who just see a YouTube thumbnail that says, "This guy won $2 million playing fantasy football. I should definitely think what he has to say." And then there also is a whole group of people who already know who I am and hate me and don't want to watch my stuff, but then they would feel that they were missing something. Like they would be like, "Oh, well, maybe this guy does actually know what I'm talking about." Because I'm sure, like, I can see all the data more than, yeah. No, hate watch. I'm sure some people do hate watch. I mean, that would just be awful boring. The 10, we haven't had a 101 in a while. Ship me a little CMC action over here. Would you rather hit $1 million on a burner and no one believes you, or hit the $1 million with an account people think is you but is not? I mean, I would just rather do whatever would ultimately end up with me making the most money. All right, we have a Diana Rossini quote on Xavier Worthy. "The fact that he's not being put on short-term IR is good for now. I think these are one of the situations where they have to wait and see how the week progresses. I think the chances of him playing against the Philadelphia Eagles are obviously very slim, but I wouldn't be surprised if he suits up in week 3 for Sunday Night Football against the Giants in week 3. Golden is definitely a receiving yards guy. He's not going to be a PPR guy. That would be my opinion. Although I do think there would be a little bit of a reason for them to use him as a PPR guy. I just don't know if they would ever get there, right? I mean, that's the interesting thing. I just don't know if they would want to use him that way. All right, we're on the turn here. Let's do St. Brown. Let's do Jonathan Taylor. I've got an idea for what I want to do on this one. Yeah, anytime TD is I like. Yeah, Golden is a ladder play guy. Man, I did not know that was on Sunday Night Football. That is a brutal game. Golden in the 60s is fine. There are so many worse picks you could have made. Golden, dude, he's a rookie wide receiver. Sometimes guys take a couple weeks to get accustomed. We used to wait 3 years for wide receivers to break out. It's okay. No first quarters, no second quarters for me. I would rather spend that time drafting battle royale contests. More money in battle royale contests, quicker turnover. Did Pete tell you any of the secret McDaniels hate? No, nothing. Wasn't there, if in my mind, wasn't there that Colts Broncos game was really bad? Wasn't there a 6-3 game last year? I want to say there was a 6-3 game last year. Wow, Achan in the 4th round, huh? All right, we're gonna do Rome Adunze, shipper, and then I'm gonna take Caleb Williams, and then I'm gonna take whatever tight end gets to me because it doesn't matter. Seahawks Chicago 12-9 in overtime. Bears Seahawks. That was the worst game. That was intolerable. That was like just truly as bad as it gets. Wow, I've grown on Ramsey. That's honestly, as a YouTube person, that is a big compliment. Because there are just certain people who are going to click on their videos and they're just like, dude, I do not like you. You are a loser. Raiders Vikings. I do not remember that one. I'm fine with good defense, but the issue is that good defense against bad offenses just ends up being terrible. Doing my picks contest picks right now with Sammy Reed. There's some interesting games this week. All right, what do we do at tight end, boys? What are we thinking? Let's just do a Jake Ferguson. Jake Berg. Caleb Williams, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor. I'm on Ross St. Brown, Roma Dunze, Jake Ferguson. Oh, it's gotta be way before week 6. I think the Caleb hit piece is true because it kept mentioning he can't motion players correctly. The Bears had 3 motion penalties. I mean, dude, the game is the game, brother. You can't. All the motion penalties are not going to be on the quarterback. No, the Caleb hit piece could certainly be true. I disagree with this. I disagree with this idea that you can't start the rookie quarterback behind the poor offensive line. What is you're gonna have to play him eventually. And if you were gonna have to play him eventually, then you might as well start getting the data on how good he is right now. I don't think it makes that much sense to wait. I really don't. I mean, yeah, Flores is one of the best at his job. I mean, Flores puts these guys in prison. One of the Dawg Bowl qualifiers from last week, Mr. Ingelks. Wow, and he just got Derrick Henry at 4. Sure. What do I want to do? You know what? Let's do a Lamar team. Don't think I have a Lamar Zay yet drafted on the Strum. Don't believe in development for rookie quarterbacks. I mean, you're just going to develop more when you get reps. Lot easier to get reps if you're in a game. And you're not getting anything with Russell Wilson. This team is not going to be competitive with Russell Wilson, you know? Let's do Lamar McBride. I mean, these elite quarterback, elite tight end starts in BR, if you don't get the top 3 nutted guys, are pretty good. Debo, Hunter, Pickens. I would go Debo, Samuel, Chris. I like Debo Samuel a lot this week. I like his hires tonight. Yeah, never look at your advance rate for best ball because it's not going to be what you want it to be. Well, he did miss a lot of open throws, and then the one open throw that everyone is kind of criticizing him for, he didn't really miss. You know, I was going to take him anyway, but I drafted Kelsey ahead of you. I drafted Kelsey ahead of you in a draft yesterday, and it was exhilarating. Here's the thing, SC Pier 01. I don't love Kelsey this week. He just looked like such a complete afterthought to their game plan yesterday. I did not yesterday, this last week. I did not love that at all. I mean, taking away checkdowns over the long run against a guy like Caleb is going to be really bad, though. You don't want to be taking away checkdowns from a guy like Caleb, because Caleb has the arm and the initiative to beat you deep. Fat Debo won't have the home field dog cart. Dude, take James Cook. It's leverage. Take James Cook. It's leverage, dude. Off the wall Giants semi prediction. Wilson gets benched in a couple weeks, but they give Winston a couple starts. A lot of people have tossed out that idea. Yeah, quite a few people have tossed out the idea that Winston should get a little bit of a run out, and I don't know, maybe he should. All right, let's do Zay Flowers. Let's just get the stack. Let's not play around. SC Spear 01. Been listening to the Fantasy Football Podcast since 2015. I listened to that podcast, the Fantasy Football Pyromaniacs. And me, Pete, and Jacob are the best. Well, that is quite an honorific company to be put in, because Pete and Jacob are real good at their jobs. Wow, someone just retweeted this tweet. Dontavian Wick's discourse must be around. Billy, this is Dontavian Wicks. He is our tallest, strongest, most dynamic vertical receiver. He gets open at will, unguardable. The only issue is he plays football like you're not allowed to use your hands, which is true. Dayball will be fighting for his job by then. No chance we see Jameis before Dart. Well, hey man, you truly, dude, you don't ever know. Yeah, neighbors and Winston together would be quite the combination. I mean, that actually really would be something. Nick, that seems crazy. I do not think Daboll's job is safe at all. Wow, JSN came all the way back to me, but it does mean we're going to have to scroll at running back. Oh, I'm about to do the worst scroll you guys have ever seen. Neighbors does not feel like that bad of a pick to me. All right, this is for all my bros who hate projections and they just like to go with their guts. The go with your gut play. Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson is the bring back for Zay Flowers. Woof. The only appropriate response to drafting Dylan Sampson in 0.5 PPR. All right. Should we try and do a fullback dive? No, let's just keep doing BRs. $5,200 Dylan Sampson. Yeah, half PPR scam. Only needs 16 receptions. Oh yeah, Neighbors is a very good play this week. I agree. Like Neighbors more than the field, I think. I'll probably be overweight. Well, I guess overweight is over 16%. The CD Neighbors combo, I think, is pretty fire. Then after this one, we're gonna go fill out my my Cervantasy, and then I think I'm gonna excuse myself. Wow, here we go. Steelers and Chiefs eyeing Tyreek Hill per Mike Florio on the Rich Eisen show. These two teams could be in on Tyreek Hill if he's made available. Waivers turned out fine. I don't believe I got Fannin on that team with Soccer Dave. But we should go check. Did I get Harold Fannin Jr. on the team with Soccer Dave? We did. We did get Harold Fannin Jr. Bada bing, bada boom. That's how you know you're having a good day. I wish I could golf, bro. I got 3 or 4 more hours of work left down here. Gotta get my week set up. Man, that made my day getting Harold Fannin Jr. Gonna slot him into that lineup right now. Yeah, Kitchen's 9 to 5 is working for JJ Zacharyson, brother. Didn't you know? Weren't you hip to Soccer Dave's day job? He's the director of marketing for Late Round Industries. Yeah, whatever. I'll do a Saquon Lamar team. I don't think I've done very many of those. Yeah, Pearsall is not going to be drafted very high this weekend in BRs. Unlikely to be a big part of the draft pool strategy, which is nice. Nice way to end it with 2 Lamar teams. I'll need to pull the projections up. I have 6 hours, 23 minutes, and 56 seconds left to set up my Cervantasy. So you guys start thinking, what player is a very good pick in fantasy this week that I'm not going to be kicking myself later for not having taken? Might take Mac Jones. Might take McCorkle. Yes, Kitchen is the full-time professor upper at Late Round Industries. That is true. That is actually his job title, I believe. Professor upper. True. Wow, this dude just got Chase Lamb. Yeah, we'll do one more pick 'em before we get out of here as well. I actually think I would do Mac Jones over CJ Stroud. Yeah, I think I would. Michael, we will knock. Ooh, Ecoxer, that's using your brain. I might, you know what? I might have even used Dobbins last week. I'll have to go back and see what I played last week. Last week I did Flacco, Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, Jerry Jeudy. I said it early in the week, and I left Christian Kirk in the lineup because I'm an idiot. Devontae Adams, and then what saved me is Juwan Johnson, because only I think 18 teams get eliminated per week. So and a bunch of people a bunch of people who forgot to submit. Oh, that was last week. Here you go. Really low scores. Yeah, 54. No, honestly, Jawan Johnson saved me from getting eliminated. That's so funny. Shout out to Jawan Johnson. Oh, Ridley's a good one, Andrew. Ridley's really good. GM, Chris. How we doing? Let's go Jackson Smith and Jigba. And Tyler Warren. I like Jacobs' touchdown. The multiplier is crazy low on Jacobs' touchdown. Like crazy low. Which is, whatever. All right, how are we going to wrap this one up? Could do double tight end. Probably zero double tight ends for me this week. You guys going to do will any of you be doing double tight end like McBride, Kelsey, or whatever lineups this week on main Battle Royale? Broadcast kept talking about the Jacobs touchdown game streak. Well, if the broadcast knows about it, it means the team told them about it, which means to some degree that it probably matters. I weirdly like Jacobs receiving yards. Can see that. I guess just in my head, I kind of think this is going to, I think this is going to be a not great Saturday game, honestly, or a not great Thursday night game. I think we're going to see quite a bit of running. I think we're going to see a lot of JCM, a lot of Jacobs. Good scroll pick in this draft. Tony Pollard. Dak, or George Pickens. There's not much scrolling at running back. Dobbins, I guess. A lot more scrolls at wide receiver than there are at running back, that's for sure. Golden's, I like a golden slide yards. I don't like Eckler touchdown. Wow. I just lived long enough to see Calvin Austin III selected. In Josh Allen team in BR. That is too fancy for me. All right, we are going to select James Cook, and this is where we get fancy. We'll do Roma Dunze. My buddy drove to the game from San Antonio, Texas. Oof, that is a drive, brother. Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, James Cook, JSN, Roma Dunze, and Tyler Warren. Yeah, Calvin Austin and Trey Tucker are fast, but they're just, I don't know. They're just like also not on very offenses I don't expect to be very good. All right, let's cook us up a pick'em real quick. Already got one in from this morning. Let's do a wild one and then let's flex it. All right, let's do 4.5 rushing yards higher on Debo, lower than 4.5 receptions for McLaurin. Let's do Tucker Kraft lower than 3.5 receptions. Let's do Jaden Reed lower than 3.5 receptions. Let's slide Golden up to 44.5. Let's do Ooh. Oh, Noah Brown, lower receptions. It's true. DK Metcalf is gonna get his, yeah. Where's Bill? Let's do higher than 9.5 rushing attempts. That's 7. Who did one of you guys was telling me about Quay Walker? Let's do a little slider. Higher than 6.5 tackles and assists. That gives us a 33 Xer. If we flex it, this is what I'll do. I'll do 5 on the flex. There you go. 5 on the flex. Hold on. Let me put this in the YouTube description. UD Pick'em entry. Put that there. And then you reuse players. Standard. You do the 5 there. Oh, I got to wait 30 seconds. Yeah, Samuel's over 4.5 rushing is like my favorite. I agree. Seems quite good. All right. Done. Confirmed. Lock it up. There you go. And there is the non-flexed version. Now let's do this. Let's do my Cervantasy. So let's go set roster. Oh, that's week 1. Set roster. Quarterback. Okay. Colson Yankoff. They're saying it. All right, let me pull up the projections. We'll do slate Thursday through Monday. Oh, it's FanDuel scoring, though. Slates, FanDuel, Thursday through Monday. Wait, I need the classic sim or classic slate opto. Operator, FanDuel, quarterback, base projection. Not a high projection on McCorkle. Yeah, I think Golden is startable. Not a high projection at all on McCorkle. You know what? Let's just use Kyler Murray. It's like as good of a matchup as you're going to get. We'll go Kyler Murray. Running back. Who's an old running back who's really unlikely to be available elsewhere? You know what? Kamara. This is a good spot for Kamara. Alvin Kamara. Who else is there at running back? Ooh, Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson. Now, obviously, you can get a little bit weirder at wide receiver. Oh, let's do Hollywood. Let's do Hollywood Brown. Oh, he's Marquise Brown in this. Because this will be a really good spot for him. Let's do Calvin Ridley. Someone mentioned Calvin Ridley earlier. Calvin Ridley is a good call. Calvin Austin, there you go. The signs are everywhere. Calvin Ridley. Maybe who is just like their easiest possible. Ooh, Kayshon Boutte. Yeah, let's do that. So you have to start 96 wide receivers over the course of the season if it makes it the whole way. Tight end. Jake Tongus. Say less, bro. I kind of don't want to burn him this early. Kyler Murray, Alvin Kamara, Dylan Sampson, Marquise Brown, Calvin Ridley, Kayshon Boutte, Jake Tongus. Submit. Done. Did it. All right, boys. There we go. Nice little stream. Hanging out for a while. make sure to like this. And if you would like, immediately following this video, you can go and you could check out Thinking About DFS, the week 2 game by game preview with Jacob Sanderson. I'd love if you guys would go and check that out. A link to that is in the YouTube chat. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will be back with all of